you would go
お
towards
え
B1. Annie? Okay, T1.
まあちょっと後ろまで見たいよね。これニダリーがまあトップっぽいけど何やるのかなって感じだし、トップレーンちょっとピックマジむずいなこれ。何やるのこれ。レネクトンぐらいしかなくね。もう諦めレネクトンじゃね。諦めレネクトンか諦めなだけど、あまあそいつでもまあこいつらしかない。ジャングル何やんの。ジャーバン本当か。こいつ本当かな。このジャーバン本当かな。まあそうだね。そっちの方がまあアニー悪くないな。でも最終的なこの形を見るとアニーがすごく悪くない状態になった。ナーとニダリーとルシアに強いこのチャンピオン。アンピックはまああんま悪くないね。 T1 今回は HLE はまあルシアン・ブラウンがまあかなり勝ってくれないといけないし、ニダリーがリシンに勝つっつってもな、もう別になんかそれなんかもうむずいけどな。
Hanwha fans trying to be as loud as possible, but the T1 fans obviously drowning them out still here at the Sujic Indoor Gymnasium.
And what we thought could have been a new era of a new dominant LCK team in Hanwha. You know, sure, they didn't win the World Championship, but won their last domestic title, won LCK Cup, won first stand. Might be cut short right here after being one game away from going to MSI. Hanwha Esports may just simply not go there, and no road for this squad.
It'll just be Gen G T1 again.
Oh yeah.
We have to address it as well. I think that BLG's regular season not that great. G2's regular season not that great.
応援団長みたいな人が
locked in for MSI, guys.
コールしてくれる。
I just want to put it out there. I know it's something that we often talk about, and it's just the glow up. This T1 is just not the same one we saw in the regular season. And in hindsight, it kind of feels obvious. We always put up the possibility, but the fact that it actually happens and through the back of Doran is not something I necessarily expect.
I mean, I'm very personally, you know, close to thinking T1 might have been able to do it. Remember, I predicted them in regular season at the end. I was very correct. They did not beat Hanwha in that final match. I thought maybe T1 had passed them. Perhaps they needed BO5 domestic crowd, you know, live event Doran to get it done. But T1 are just looking super clean. They have such a good read on the meta right now. And it's great to see more depth here in our LCK. If you're a Hanwha fan, you're hoping you can stop that momentum.
And it goes both ways, because as much as T1 have leveled up, I'm also not used to seeing Hanwha just straight up miss skill shots, the light missing lances. A lot of fighting here.
That heal's going to be thrown out here on both sides.
いやボットにバチバチだなマジで。シビアなレーリングしてる。
Zeka and Faker fighting it out here in the mid lane. The Galio versus Annie matchup is not one I'm super familiar with, but should be something that should be fine for both of these players.
Viper fairly low here.
Yeah, Gumayusi actually getting so much from the Gleaming Quill. Getting all of that health back. Did drink his potion, of course, but Viper is really struggling here in this lane right now.
This Gnar is so important in this draft. I want to talk about it for a second because we had, remember, the consideration of Peanut playing something completely different. You know, it might not have been Hecarim, might have just been a funky hover, but playing the Nidalee top into the K'Sante would have given you a lot of lane pressure, but this comp doesn't have that much damage, right? I mean, it's a Galio. If you play the Nidalee top, your team fighting gets a little bit weaker. And so now Peanut is so important in this draft on this Nidalee to be able to hit spears later on for controlling objectives. That range advantage is really only him. And if your Lucian falls super far behind in lane, things could be really disastrous. Doran aggressive.
The hop does come on through as Doran down below 100 health. The hyper proc comes in, but says, oh no! The transformation happens at exactly the wrong time. Still, Peanut is going to be here as Doran underneath the turret, not hit by the spear. And the wave crashes. They don't know where anyone is on the map, and they do not go any further.
And with the shield, I don't know if it would have been enough, but it definitely would have been extremely close. Could have been the opportunity, but as you highlight, he just transformed at just the wrong moment.
Just one more auto.
Just one more, as we do see the kill picked up for Zeus. The early lane playing out the way it has, but that has not been a problem for Doran. I feel like a lot of the early laning phases have been Zeus favored, but then he's able to effortlessly bounce back. Part of that is also as we keep going back to Owner. This man does so much lifting for the team, both in the fights as well as in the lane setups and the dive that they continuously fight.
Yeah, great pounce there from Peanut to get himself out of the way, just harassing Keria and Oner out of the jungle. And trying to set up something here as the 2v2 has ensued on the other side. That is going to continue here. You can see Viper still pretty far behind, as his early laning phase has been all about Gumayusi and Keria. This is obviously one of their most successful combinations of champions. They've used this to great effect many, many times. We'll see whether it is going to continue like this. So far, so good here for the T1 bottom lane. We do have Peanut in the area, but remember, he is Nidalee, so with no CC, I don't think he'll be able to offer anything here in defense of this lane. Would have been nice if there was a dive coming for him to be there, but Oner does not carry his clear in. Well, there's the entrance as the door is taking so much damage here. As he's still trying to fight back, a dangerous decision. As we can see, Select is going to slow down Keria, and they are just zoning them away from their turret here just in a 2v2.
It's getting straight up gapped in this 2v2, not even remotely as I think Viper
もうでもこれ逃げる読みでボットにステイしても良さそうだったけどな。こっち道だったし、なあだし。ね、ここら辺はなんか読み毎回負けてるね。HL が。多分これ合わせないといけないみたいな考え方で合わせに行ったんだろうけど、そうするよりなんかまあ2対1させてゲームした方が良さそう。
Yeah, this is going to be Peanut clearing vision on this dragon, but they have no idea beyond the pit where anyone is.
勝ってる側がスラップ合わせるというか、負けてる側がうまく逃げたり、勝ってる側がやったりしてるけど、これちょっとあんま考えないでスラップしてそうだけどね、この感じは。
They might need to overload if they're going to get something done. As there is the Justice Punch to come in. Faker going to get taunted up as the Spear will connect as well. Tibbers goes down, but here the Cavalry has arrived. Sonic Wave goes wide. Zeka just a slight sidestep there. The listing lazily to the left once again, working out beautifully here on the LCK stage.
いや、今のはまあどっちみちリコールした後トップ走ってもウェーブないし。だったらボットに逃げながらドラゴン見る方が効率いいからルシアンはまあもちろん逃げながらドラゴン見に行くでそれを T1 が読んでボット側に走ったもう完全に1回の読み負けからもう読み負け続けてるね読み負けっていうかまあもうこれはもうなんかもうそうするしかないからそれに合わせられてるって感じだけど1回読み負けてもうその後やることないってだけだねこれ
but they can't do anything to this dragon. And like you said, it's just insane how much control over dragon T1 has had this entire 3 sets of games, or set of 3 games, I should say.
Oh, Doran, nice sidestep there, as we can see, as the Mega Gnar just uses the R button because he may as well in this matchup. I don't think Doran's going to be dying just yet. It's a decent wall up there as Zeus is continuing to throw skills at the K'Sante, but he's got the steel caps. He's looking like he's feeling okay. As Zeka moving down towards the bottom side, and Viper will be passing him in, at least for now. 700 gold is the lead here for Gumayusi. So much of this has been him on the receiving end of all of the positives from this early game.
And that's no jungle intervention.
ミッドに逃げるのが一番危ないけどね。
No dive being threatened. It was just straight up.
クレンズがある間は生きてられるか。
Feels like, even with the increase in form that we saw of Guma in particular, but even Keria to a certain extent, I think he was a lot more inconsistent during the regular season, even though he's still at the highs. But them just gapping like this, I think, is unexpected as well.
That's the worst.
That is not what they were looking for here, as HLE still with an opportunity to fight for this one, as we've got top laners battling.
スマイトも使って取られた。ゼウスウルトないこれ。
In position on these grubs as Keria
兄来てる？ビジョン取れてない。ビジョン取れた。あ、これもう無理だね。入れないねここから。
And there is the objective just going over to T1 for free. Yet another one, tick it off.
The timing on this where they are able to get the second grub without using Smite and then just be able to secure the third one for free. Faker on that flank angle, they knew he was in the brush. They just could not collapse because he's got Flash Tibbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Oner now going to move over, deny any sort of Raptor steal. T1 have every answer in this early game.
And it's not even like Hanwha Life already getting anything on the rest of the map, because we saw in that whole sequence, Zeka like, was on bot, then roamed mid because he wanted to be ready for a possible fight. And the call was to not make the fight because they didn't have Mega Gnar. Then he walked into the jungle to try and maybe contest, and ends up not really getting. If you get like a plate or two out of that, I think you're going to be feeling a lot better. But the cross map just isn't there.
2対2ガチきつそうだねこれ。立てないから今のきついけど、レベルもきついし。
Delight's level 4. I just now ticked over, but he's basically a full level behind. Same for Viper.
Carrier about to hit that quickness as well. There it is.
I mean, they're just going to zone him off another wave. Like, otherwise, I mean, good luck defending this dive.
There is that quickness that goes in, gets the charm onto Delight, who's kicked away. But here's the heroic entrance. Gumayusi with the feather storm though.
強いぞこれ。ザヤ強い。ああ惜しい。9当たってれば。何じゃねえ。これ来ちゃうよ。左が。ここまでかな。どうした。うわ終わった。
He finds the angle. There's another pyro blast. It could be a triple for the Annie as Tibbers looks to clean up, and it's in fact the Blind Monk that gets it in the end. 4 for nothing here for T1 in this early game, and Zeus is also taking damage from Doran.
世界終わりの4キル。
That's got to be a backbreaker. Like there is just no way.
There's no way. Because right before this, I was going to say, I mean, at least you got a gold lead for the counter matchup. You gave Zeus. At least you got the Gnar. And if Peanut can stabilize in this game, you can have some poke. You can play around objectives. But I mean, this is just a bottom 2v2 setup where again Guma pushes it in, and they have so much agency. Zeus looking for something back here on the bottom lane.
He has to.
Yeah, let's see
has
if
to
we can
try.
find it.
TP though.
Teleport is going to come in. Doran goes all out and doesn't get CC'd from the Gnar. Zeus looking to try and get himself out of here as there is the wallop. It's Carrier that comes in, and there's the Q charged up. Doran wanting a little bit more. The flash does come through as Zeus gets the transformation. The turret's getting aggressive. Zeus still trying to get out of here, but it does not work. And Doran picks up the kill.
これトップサイド走ってたのかリダリ。あまあでも TP がさほどしてきてるのか。ああ。まあ難しいか。難しいな。
It's just a disaster across the board. It looks like initially maybe there's a chance to turn it around with Zeka or
Zeka coming
in. That's the first
Zayaの戦い方が強すぎたなこれ。
Just like some of the spears you're about to be seeing. And even though the members of Hanwha are here, they're already so far behind.
いや羽が。
And here comes the Annie.
いや LCK カメラだなマジで。フェイカーのことを映してくれたってよくない？俺らのことをそんなにびっくりさせる必要なかったと思うんだけど。
If you know the Galio doesn't come up, they lose that, right? But when the Galio comes up, it means Faker can come up for free. There's no CC on this Nidalee. There's just no saving it. And Doran has backup because once again, unsealed Spellbook Rakan is going to be how Carrier helps Doran hard force this kill on Zeus. And at this point, it almost feels personal as Doran is making this road to MSI all about him.
Well, T1 are going to continue making it about them as they look for this engage onto Peanut. He tries to get himself out of there, but Delight is in such an awkward position. Zeus is coming
どうだこれフォーカスえぐいけど。
In a decent spot, the culling this time is going to actually hit some T1 players.
ケリアがなんか生きてる。なんか生きてる。Oh my god.
Oh man, this is
これケリア生きるマジか。
They are just dominating.
This is disgusting. I mean, it's the most one-sided game we've seen in a while. Probably arguably across the whole tournament. We had some crazy KET 3-0s, but this is something else entirely. Doran gets the whole turret, the first turret, and feeds the string. I don't know if this could be any more one-sided. I don't want to see the Hanwha fans. How are they feeling right now?
I don't want to. Let's not do that.
I'd rather not know. I think it's okay. It's a 6K gold deficit, and again here it's T1, the power friendship. Someone goes in, we all commit, and obviously so far behind is Hanwha already in items. But I thought with that 2-man knock-up, maybe that could be something. Maybe they can follow up. But they just don't have the stats. Ona gets Peanut in, which means that Peanut just goes down after that kick. And then Zeus desperately tries to take down Carrier. Look at his weaving. The shield keeps him alive. Ona obviously doesn't care about the turret. And that's the only appropriate response.
Yeah, Carrier just having a little bit of a giggle at this one. I think he kind of knows that that ticket is already theirs. Looking for another bit of an engagement here as soon as we're out of replays, we seem to be into another thing.
T1's success is also Hanwha's tragedy. Again, so close, but coming into today, massive favorites. Massive favorites. I mean, there were so many 3-0s on our side. Very few T1 believers, and they were 3-2 believers at that, hoping that it's going to go to the fifth and final game. And it must be insane whiplash to come into today feeling like, well, it was tough against Genji, but surely today we'll get it done in T1. Or just a different beast than they were in regular season, a different beast than they were even yesterday. And this is the kind of glow up you want to see from a team that's going to represent the LCK at MSI.
なおの部分はかなり勝てる余地がある。
in this game, right? Like, not even talking about the mental, not talking about the fact that they are on the verge of losing their 6th game in a row, basically getting just fully swept.
Oh dear, that door went the wrong direction there as Delight does absorb a few of these auto attacks. Stand Beside is going to get Delight out of there, but still.
But you're a short range comp. Like, how are you ever going to retake any controller? You need to get down and dirty to get anything done, and the items just aren't there.
And who sets up the Galio ults? You know, how do you find your way in? It's
like that.
Yeah, here's the flash forward. That's what Delight is looking for as they do get the Feather Storm out from Gumayusi. That's exactly what HLE want. Now there's a clock. Now they need to figure out how to get on top of Guma and make something happen. But I mean, I feel like they are so far behind, and yeah, there's Cleanse, there's Flash. Thanks for showing me there, Chronicler. There is still answers here.
まあザヤのウルトは落とさせないとね。まずゲームにならないから。
All you gotta do is just ult that there, and you're fine. As even this is desperation.
Yeah. I mean, this is Zeka being able to push Faker away. He's, of course, got the Molten Shield and now has a bear. Going to make this one a little bit unfair towards the bottom side of the map as the Winds of War come down. But I don't know whether Zeka can even win this.
Oh my god.
Discovers that as well as he flashes
Terminates it! It's too much!
Where's the mercy rule?
Yeah, oh god.
And you know, I wanted a good series today. And for me, that meant T1 showing up. I didn't quite mean it like this. I didn't expect to get the bad series because T1 showed up a little too much.
I feel like you opened the door for T1 to show up and Hanwha Esports just left.
We may have monkey pawed this one a little bit.
I think that is the important thing to note. Hanwha were the favorites today, but if you had come in and you told those guys T1 clutched it, it was a 3-2, Hanwha got close, but it wasn't enough, it was the T1 magic. I don't think that would have really surprised any of us.
That's why that's why D-Gon predicted that.
Yeah, no? And I think it was Coco as well, right? That makes sense. T1 just out of nowhere, and it is out of nowhere, let's be very real. They lost 2-0 to this team. Not, what, was it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago.
It is just insane, and it needs to be the credit, because we always talk about T1. We know that 4 out of these 5 players are reigning world champions, 2-time. There's also the reigning LCK champion, Kruglord Doran, which I feel like we need to give him the credit. He is the defending champion, and it was on this team that he's facing right now.
Yep. And the defending world champion that's on the other side isn't quite getting it done as Carrier goes in. Owner there as well, finds the kick to get the double knock up. As they're now just looking to take down Peanut. They'll take that one very comfortably. Delight next on the menu, Delicious. Here's the knock up comes through. My god, the damage as Zeka will be eviscerated. Nice. And Viper standing alongside Zeus underneath this turret, and Doran says, you are coming with me. The Kruglord sends his regards as Viper will look for a Mega Cone for a disengage.
Am I crazy? Or is it actually perfect gameable? All Grubs, all Herald, all turrets.
God, you are right.
For Hanwha. They could perfect game Hanwha to knock them out of MSI.
Oh, that is absurd. Okay, Zeus is just going to get taken down under this turret unceremoniously. And like you were talking about, the perfect game still on the line. 12-0 is the kill score. They're going to take an inner turret here at 18 minutes. Oh man, now we're just talking about HLE, can they get a kill ever in this game? That's going to be the question. Maybe off the back of this one, but never mind. He's got the smooth moves to taxi alongside the Gromp, the Blade Caller there as well to hold him in place.
Well, they got to defend this dragon if they want to keep that alive as well.
Oh, Guma. Yeah. Zeka going in. Guma is going forward into 3 people. The feathers are just doing so much damage. As all right. Carrier going to join him. There is the knock-up attempt onto Zeka, who doesn't get the taunt. Onto Gumayusi, he's got the shield, the flash, but the feather storm. Is there an answer? And Zeus cannot do anything as he gets that back line. It's the Pyroblast from Faker that locks him down. And they might be able to get one. Carrier is going to fall. There goes the perfect game, but it doesn't mean anything because they are stamping their ticket to MSI in this play right here.
Speechless is how I'm feeling right now. T1
パーフェクトゲームじゃなくなったけど、そんだけだなマジで。
completely unlocked.
And I have been the unfortunate recipient of many a DK fell for it again award, but we collectively fell for it again when it comes to T1. Of course they're going to be our MSI representative. Of course they just turn it on when it matters most. They were just sandbagging. We thought it was Hanwha.
Yeah, this was
いや、まあ
apparently
形の
what
悪い
Hanwha
ファイ
were
ト
doing.
に
They've
チャン
admitted
スっ
this.
ていうの
They
はないん
said
だ
they
よ
were
ね。
built for international competition.
だから HP がどうなってるとかあんま関係ない。
When you don't even get
戦えない。
to go there. As this was just Gumayusi playing with his food, as Zeus went in to try and take him down, and he just said no. And Keria does go down, but he's Rakan. He's set up the play for the rest of his teammates. Oh, goodness me. T1 just have every answer today.
I mean, they could do no wrong here. This is one of the most one-sided games I've ever seen in a best of 5 in professional play here in Korea. It's just nearly a perfect game. As mentioned, just that one kill stops the perfect here for T1, but how can you even say composed on the stage here as Hanwha, considering all the circumstances around this almost qualification for them? As bye-bye.
Is just going to run towards Faker. The all-out from Doran just
された
says no mega cone for you, sir.
本来いるはずのところにいなくてびっくりしちゃった。 あ、切られて死んだ。
But he just gets booted out of the rift entirely. Zeus now just trying his very best to hop his way out. Don't mind me, everyone.
The minion
as
died!
the Sonic Wave goes wide. But I still think he's just being escorted to the death chamber, ladies and gentlemen. Doran tanking up this turret momentarily. The grand entrance holds him in place. And now the base is going to get broken. Gumayusi going to test his mettle against the Otacon. And yeah, T1 are able to do whatever they want, whenever they want, until they decide that it's time to pick up that
勝てなさそう
ticket.
じゃないこれ。
He doesn't win this.
I don't think he does.
I mean, I'm pretty invested in this one right now. As, he
どうだどうだどうだ勝てそう勝てそう勝てそう勝てそう。
Look at the moves,
お
Gumayusi!
お勝てるんだな。
That was soloing an Otacon, everyone. That's what that was. It was, he did manage to get that one done. Didn't necessarily need to, but he did.
Everyone's had a role to play in this series, and I think Faker, who was the most quiet of the 5, has 0 deaths in this game and has been such a strong facilitator.
I've seen Guma steal objectives before, but I feel like this is a new level. Okay, this is too much.
Oh my goodness.
I wasn't sure he was going to get it. I was on the side.
Oh no, I was worried.
I mean, that was the only we're not really sure whether they'll get it moment that we've had so far in this game.
Oh yeah, that was the first moment of uncertainty.
Yeah, as we get the replay, of course. We need some pro view here. As yeah, you saw that Ona was coming on over trying to grab it, and he said, "Yeah, I won," and he did.
And if he didn't, would it really matter?
No, not really. But it's getting some revenge for his teammates. As Doran, remember, he lost that same battle on the bottom side of the map against a different camp, but still.
A clearly stronger one.
It's some revenge. As Delight, oh god, the Braum just taking so much damage here as Doran throws Zeker into the wall. He's not quite as tanky as he really wants to be right now. Still cannot tank 4 members of HLE, but it does not matter. He's just zoning.
We thought
the turret goes down.
We thought the era of Gen G T1 might have been over. We finally had a new champion. We finally had a new challenger in summer, but T1 still won the world championship and weren't able to make it to first stand. But they're putting their stamp on the MSI ticket, saying we are still able to hang with the best. We are still up there with Gen G. We are a top 2 team in the LCK, and they're going to earn it here.
Yeah, that was actually very cute by Ona. Peanut wanted to hop over there, and he was like, "Let me help you," as he kicks him back towards his base. And all right, HLE are at least on the map for the moment. They are absolutely reeling. In goes Zeka looking to try and get one against Faker here. Absolutely not. He finds a whole lot of charms here in this mid lane. The heroic entrance is going to get a knock up onto the Rakan. Yeah, they'll be able to kill him again, but do they have any chance in the rest of this fight? And the answer is maybe they can get Faker, but otherwise it is all T1 as Gumayusi will be able to take down his former teammate. Peanut trying to get himself out of here as Ona going to join him as they blast cone their way out. Another Sonic Wave is going to go wide as the Blade Caller coming on through. Peanut trying to do what he can, but Ona just needs one more auto, one more something as the cat will survive.
He gets out, but I don't know if he feels happy right now about it, Atlas. And
yeah, we can do the yakety sax, I think, a little bit here.
I'm pretty confident he doesn't. I'm willing to take that bat. Zeka, they know, right? Like they probably knew after the top side play The emotes are flying, but Hanwha Life.
Yeah, the sad
Oh
bee.
no, not the sad bee.
あ、
As the teleport is going to
これ
look
は
to put the
誰だ？
end to this
兄か。
funny business. As Delight came in, so that's going to try and help out
いっぱい
here
来た。
as he does have a taunt. He manages to buff the Justice Punch quite nicely here, but he's still on a sliver of health. As Zeus decent knob position right now, but
なんか
there's the
蹴られてる人いる。
Verona. He's going to be able to take down Vipers. Now Peanut once again finding himself in a precarious spot, but not as precarious as what Zeus is dealing with right here. It's a cute little gnaw, and he might be able to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but T1 are still just messing with
Ah, touch
her.
that.
As finally the Sonic Wave is going to connect, and Ona collects another kill. Delight puts up the door. He's got a flash, but he doesn't have a chance to use it. And now T1, with so many members of HLE out of this game right now, they're going to look to take down an inhibitor and get this first Nexus turret taken down as well.
26-3, 8 turrets to 0, no objectives for Hanwha in this final game.
And I had a line prepared about
すごいな。
denying
この
golden
ザヤ。
roads and things like
最
that. I
強だ。
just don't think it's relevant. T1 were just so damn good today. It didn't even look like
いや、マジで強かったな、
Hanwha
T1
Esports turned up. They'll take
全然
down
俺
the Nexus
HLE
and
勝つかもなとか思いながら
T1
ゲーム始まる前見てたけど 3-0 か。 ムキムキだった。マジで強かったな。いやー、レッドサイド、でも3試合目はバンピックレッドサイド取った強みはマジで出なかったな。シーズンの状況は知らんが T1 が強くて楽しかった。T1 は強かった。俺が去年 WCS で見た姿とほぼ変わってなかった。多分美味しいとこだけ食べた。